To my YouTube channel. We'll be dealing with this typical question 1 NCV. This is level 3. And then if you have not subscribed to my channel, please may you kindly subscribe, become the part of the family, and click the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. We have given question 1.1 says the figure below represent a closed aluminum storage tank. The tank is in the form of what? Of the cylinder with the height 5 meter. This is the height there. And the hemisphere, this is a half hemisphere. As you can see, this is a hemisphere with a radius of 2. This hemisphere has the radius there of what? Of 2. Here actually we're given that the bottom anyways, but will be the same what we know. The radius we're given there 2 meter. We're given from the bottom part, right? So and off the top we see there at the top, say here determine the following. 1.1.1 the volume of the tank, like the combine of the tank, but we know we have two. You must supposed to check. You see number 1 here we have an object which is the sphere. Here it's a cylinder, sorry, this is a cylinder. This number 2 we have what? The hemisphere. When you sum up those twos, they make up what? A tank. That means if you want the volume, we'll start you'll calculate the volume of the hemisphere, the volume of the cylinder, then you combine these two, we'll have what? It will give us the total volume there of the tank. All right, so is 1.1.1 there. That is what we want there. So can start by finding the volume of the cylinder. The volume of the cylinder. You can just write volume of the cylinder. We know that is given by what? By pi multiplied by what? By radius squared multiplied by height. Actual fact, volume is equal it's the area multiplied by what? By height. This volume is equal to this. So we know that this part is simply what? Area. This is our height. So let's check what we'll have. Our volume of the cylinder with pi. What is radius is 2. We have 2, we square that 2, multiply by the height, whereby it's 5. There we'll have what? The punch we have 62,83. Obvious is measured in what? In cubic meter wise, because area, remember this guy's value cylinder is simply area multiplied by height or the length. The area is measured in meter squared, then the height is measured in meter. So when you multiply this SI units, since they are the same, the bases are the same, we add the exponents. Remember the same as m. This will be m2 plus that 1. So this will be m cubed. That is why we say this is measured in what? In cubic meter. The volume there. Take a note there. All right. So we have there 1.1.2. There says determine the amount of material required to manufacture a tank. The amount. Now we're talking about the surface area, the amount. You understand? So we'll have our surface area there. So what will be the surface area or the area of this tank? Are we together? Sorry. The area of this tank, we know that is given by what? You start by this portion. You start by this portion or that portion. Remember, you have to combine. But anyway, remember is the volume of the tank. Oh, I almost forgot. Sorry, I almost forgot. I've just calculated of the cylinder. I just calculated the volume of the cylinder. But what about the hemisphere? Oh, all right. The volume of the hemisphere. I almost the volume of the hemisphere. There we have to find the volume of the hemisphere. What will be the volume of the hemisphere? We know the volume of the sphere like this. When you have the sphere, the volume is equal to, hopefully you know that, like, well, let's say you have a sphere. If you have a sphere, you must know that the volume of it, it's what is 4 over 3 multiplied by pi r cubed. But now this is for the full, but check here, we have the hemisphere. This is a half, it's a hemisphere. So that means if we want to, they were given a half, so that means you must have this number, this value, you must multiply this by 1 over 2, so that will have what, this portion. All right, so since we multiply that by 1 over 2, that means per se this will be 1 over 2 multiplied where we multiply our, would be 4 over 3 pi r cubed. Why? Is because now obviously it's a hemisphere, it's not a full sphere. We're halving like that. Multiply by 1 over 2 is like you're halving that. So this will be equals to what? 1 over 2 into 4 over 3. What multiply by pi? R is 2. We have 2, right, cubed there. So what will be this volume? Will be 16,755 cubic meter. All right, so now let us find the tank now, the volume of the tank. The volume of the tank will simply equals to the sum of the two, will be the volume of what, of the hemisphere, plus the volume of what, of the cylinder. All right, so we add up the two, we'll sum up this guy and that guy, we'll have the 6,283 plus 16,7. All right, let me write in a correct form. Let me start by the volume of the hemisphere. Okay, it's here, we have that is 16,755 plus the volume of the sphere, there is 62,83. Then what, therefore what will be the volume of the tank? What will be the volume of that tank, there? We sum up those twos there. So we'll have 79,585 obviously cubic meter. So that is the volume of that tank. All right, so 1.1.2 says determine the amount of material required to manufacture the structure. Material, check, we're talking about the material. All right, the amount of the material over a surface area, or let me just say area, or you can use surface area. Let me just use the area because what will contain them, what will fill up that space there. All right, so can start, when you're talking about things like sphere, we can have there our surface area. Actually, yeah, just do that surface area there. We have there of the cylinder, we took area there. All right, so we'll have to have now, let's go, this is the surface area. Let me just say surface area of the cylinder. Let me start by writing cylinder here. You now will be looking for cylinder first, so we know that will be given by pi r squared. Now we took area there, plus 2 pi into the what is this h, we want that to be 4. Okay, let me just do like this. Anyways, the material, I'm just checking. All right, 2 pi multiplied by r multiplied by h, because is that. Then we'll substitute there. We'll have 2 squared plus 2 pi. The radius is 2, the height it was 5. Then this will get this to be 75,395 meters squared. We together is a unit there. Done. Let's find of the sphere now, the one of the hemisphere. Obviously it's a hemisphere. All right, we'll have that. Originally we're supposed to have 4 pi r squared, but now since it's a hemi, it's a half, it's not a full, you'll multiply by 1 over 2 as always if you given a half. So we have 4 pi, the radius you have seen it was 2 squared multiplied by 1 over 2. Then here punching, what will be the value there? We'll have this to be 25,133 meters squared. Then now we want the total for this tank. Now we can find the tank. We add the 2, we have 75,395 plus 25,133. Remember, then now we'll have these to be 100,531 squared, like that. So thank you for watching. May you kindly subscribe, please. Do not forget. Let us grow together.